everybody, Sean from Movie Assault here, and it's time for another video. This time out, it is a Hamilton book haul. Probably the biggest one I've done. Actually, I think it is the biggest one I've done because I've never received one of these type of boxes from Hamilton Book before. Usually I get their Tootsie Roll box, but this is super big. So I'm just gonna cut right into the box and get into what I received. So give me a second and I'll cut this open and we'll see what's in the box. I've actually had this sitting around for a couple of days now because I've been waiting to have the opportunity to make a video. So hope you're not wearing earphones. Oh, sorry. Alrighty. Get into what we got. First up is an Arrow title, and I didn't realize this was a 4K. Awesome. It is the 4K, and I believe there's a Blu-ray in here as well, of, this is a steelbook, of Wild Things, starring Kevin Bacon, Matt Dillon, Neve Campbell, and Denise Richards, and I believe Bill Murray is also in this. Yep, Robert Wagner. I have not seen this movie since I saw it in theaters back in '98, I think it was. When did this come out? Was it 98? Yeah, 1998. So I have not seen this in a very long time. And this was a little bit more pricey than the other stuff. Yeah, this was 18 bucks, $17.95. But I thought it was just the Blu-ray. And I don't think it said that it was the 4K, but that's awesome. So, cool. Wild Things. Got this from Kino Lorber. This is Gary Oldman and Benedict Cumberbatch, Tom Hardy, John Hurt in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Looking forward to seeing this one in quite some time. So Gary Oldman's always good. I actually got this one because my stepfather, who I mentioned in a previous video as being, I mentioned him in my top 25 favorite films of the 1970s as being a cosplay person. He did cosplay of Burt Reynolds before cosplay was a thing. This was actually one of his favorite movies, Terms of Endearment. So he was not your typical Burt Reynolds fan, but I have never seen this movie and I wanted to check it out, and this was, I believe, $4.95. So I thought I would check this out. This has Deborah Winger, Shirley MacLaine, and Jack Nicholson, Danny DeVito, John Lithgow, among others. So this was the Best Picture of 1983, and Shirley MacLaine won Best Actress. Jack Nicholson won Best Supporting Actor, and James L. Brooks won Best Director and Best Adapted Screenplay. So it cannot be that bad. But yeah, I always thought it was funny that he loved this film, so I want to check it out. Believe it or not, I don't own, or did not own any of these movies. This is the 4 movie collection of Rambo. This includes First Blood, Rambo First Blood Part 2, Rambo 3, and Rambo, the 2008 version, or movie, I should say. It does not include Rambo Last Blood, and that's just fine with me because I am going to act like that movie never existed. So this is perfect for me. This is the complete collector set, and I'm going to keep it that way. I don't want anything to do with the last movie. So this set is just fine with me. The 4 Sylvester Stallone Rambo films, not the 5. I picked this up from Dollar Tree on DVD, but I just figured I'd upgrade, even though I still haven't watched the movie yet. This is Richard Jewell. This was directed by Clint Eastwood. I've been sort of captivated by this story. There was a series on TNT, I believe. I can't remember what it was called, but it sort of told this story. They were kind of hunting for the bomber from the Olympic bomber, and they sort of told his story as well, and I was just sort of interested in it. So I figured I would pick this up. This includes Sam Rockwell, Kathy Bates, John Hamm, Olivia Wilde, and Paul Walter Hauser, who I'm assuming plays Richard Jewell. Interesting story, if you remember, from the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. Looking forward to watching that. Oh, good. It did come with a slipcover. I picked up another Vestron Video Collector's Series. I picked up the Warlock Collection. This includes Warlock, Warlock the Armageddon, and Warlock 3, The End of Innocence. These star Julian Sands. I've never seen any of these, and I've always been interested in these. Julian Sands, of course, passed away, unfortunately, not too long ago. But I've always been interested in these, and I just never had a chance to get into them. So I figured since these were available at a decent price, I would pick them up. And there's the back. Picked this up too. This is It Waights. Heard decent things about this, I think. So I figured I'd add this to the collection. This is a film I watched with my dad on VHS back in, I think it was the early 80s. I think it was like 1981. And this is Who'll Stop the Rain, starring Nick Nolte, Tuesday Weld, and Michael Moriarty. And I think James Woods is in this, I believe. Maybe not. Richard Mazur's in this, Ray Sharkey, Charles Hayde, Gail Strickland, and as you may guess by the title, it has music by Creedence Clearwater Revival, but this is from a brand new master, brand new 2020 2K master from the original IP. This is a Scorpion release. I don't know why I thought James Woods was in this. Apparently I have forgotten more than I thought about this movie. But anyway, I remember watching this with my dad and liking it. Now I'm wondering if I'm thinking of the right film. But anyway, I'll find out when I watch it if it's the right movie. Oh, this is interesting. This is another Kino Lorber title called Homebodies, from the 1970s, 1974. This is about a group of senior citizens who are told that their old brownstone is going to be torn down, and they don't take the news lightly. So they they apparently start killing people. It sounded interesting. It says that's not the victim screaming, it's you. I thought this sounded really interesting. And 1970s horror. I don't know if this is a horror comedy, but it sounds like it might be a little bit on that side. But it stars Peter Bracco, Francis Fuller, William Hanson, Ruth McDevitt, Paula Truman, and Ian Wolfe, and was directed by Larry Yust. But it sounded interesting. Figured I would pick it up. This I have been looking to buy for quite a while. I tried to get the Twilight Time copy, and I was not successful in getting that, so I got this from Scorpion Releasing. This is Rollerball with James Caan. I started watching this on TV, and it was an edited version, and I wanted to see the unedited version. This is from 1975. I love the 70s version of the future. This takes place in 2018, so we're already way past that. But I always like to see what they thought the future would look like. And this is apparently fairly brutal, so I'm looking forward to watching that. Excuse me. Another movie that I did not have in my collection, Forrest Gump with Tom Hanks, obviously. This is a pretty fairly well-known picture. Won Best Picture back in 1994. I've seen it many, many times, and just never had it in my collection for some stupid reason, so I figured I would correct that. This I bought it on the strength of the fact that Tom Skerritt and Lisa Eichhorn are in it, and Anthony Zerbe and Richard Roundtree. You could also say this is another Scorpion Releasing from MGM. It's from 1986. I always thought Lisa Eichhorn was pretty attractive, and then this cover art looks like something is missing from it. Like there was something else there and they took it off. I don't know. It looks very odd, but it's called Opposing Force. This looks like it was straight from VHS. This would be right out of a VHS rental. It says where civilization ends and survival begins. I totally bought this off the strength of the cast, and the cover art looks odd. But it was also known as Hell Camp. I think they've altered the cover art from what it originally was. It just looks odd. I mean, that doesn't even look like what is she tied to? The sky? So, I don't know. All right, got a few more here. This one I picked up. This is another Kino Lorber from 1972 with George Peppard, Michael Sarrazin, Christine Belford, directed by, who was this directed by? Lamont Johnson. From 1972, it's The Ground Star Conspiracy. This looks interesting. The fuse is lit, the trap is set, the explosive conspiracy has begun. From Lamont Johnson, the director of A Covenant with Death, The Mackenzie Break, Lipstick, and Cattle Annie and Little Britches, comes this exciting espionage thriller starring George Peppard and Michael Sarrazin. A violent blast destroys the U.S. government's top-secret ground star research complex, and 6 high-ranking scientists are incinerated. The saboteur is found barely alive and clutching stolen national security documents. But when ruthless government investigator Tuxon, played by Peppard, is assigned to the case, he discovers that the saboteur's memory has been mysteriously erased. So that sounded interesting. This one is the original, The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, with Robert Shaw, another Kino Lorber. Walter Matthau is in this, Martin Balsam, Hector Elizondo. This was directed by Joseph Sargent from 1974. I'm on a 70s kick, what can I say? So I picked this up. I have not seen the remake. Figured I would go straight for the original. And another one that was missing from my collection that I wanted to pick up is Revenge of the Nerds. Another movie that would not be made today, but a classic from the 80s. I've seen it 100 times probably. And then a movie that I have seen several times, starring Adam Sandler and the late Carl Weathers and Christopher McDonald, Julie Bowen, and Bob Barker. Happy Gilmore. Not in my collection until now. Now I need to get Billy Madison, but I didn't have that. So that's everything picked up from Hamilton Book. I won't be including those in my monthly pickups video for February, so I will save some time for that video. But just wanted to show you what I got from Hamilton Book. If you've seen any of these movies, especially any of those Kino Lorber films from the 70s, let me know in the comments below. What'd you think about what I got? Have you seen any of these other than the Kino Lorber ones? And anything other than Forrest Gump or Happy Gilmore or Revenge of the Nerds, because who hasn't seen those? So thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, thank you for having an attention span. And as always, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so if you liked what you saw, and take it easy. Thanks for watching. Bye.